Okay, so hi, pretty people. Ding ding.
Yeah, he's jealous for you. He loves you. So
I forgot to shut my car completely off, and that shows. Um, I just went on a walk before I recorded this episode, and thank God I did, because this season or this series, I'm gonna do April based on April showers, which essentially is just talking about the parts of life that are sorrowful, that are sad, that are make us grieve, that make us feel our feelings that God gave us. And what came to mind was the movie Inside Out. Inside Out came to mind because I remember I was watching that movie with one of my friends, and she said, "Bruh, sadness is so annoying." Because why she got to do all that? Because in Inside Out sadness, there's the emotions, and Inside Out is this movie. If y'all haven't seen it, it's this movie about the emotions that this little girl is experiencing. And there's happiness, there's joy, there's sadness, there's fear, there's disgust, and there's anger. Right? Those are the primary 5 emotions. And then when you get to part 2, there's other emotions too. As you get older, you get more emotions, right? And so Joy was basically the boss, the CEO of all the emotions, because she did what she wanted to do. She made things right. She always fixed a problem. And so when sadness came along, Joy was like, "No, girl, get out of my face. No, girl, I'm not doing this. You're gonna add fuel to the fire. We don't want sadness." And if you watch the movie as you go through it, you realize that you need sadness in order to experience joy. You need sadness in order to value joy. And so this episode is titled April Showers, and I didn't even tell you who I am. I am Madeline Joy. I'm the host of the Love God Love People podcast, and I just want y'all to know that I'm at the lake. For my listeners, I'm at the lake, and I just went on a beautiful walk, and I saw so many groundhogs. So I think spring is officially in full effect, and thank God it is. So basically this episode is titled April Showers. And when I was prepping for this episode, probably about an hour ago, before I went on my walk, I was trying to think. I said, "Lord, you know how they say the phrase April showers bring May flowers, all the things, yada yada," right? Yes. I was like, they focus on the May flowers of like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get the car, I'm gonna get the house, I'm gonna get the husband, I'm gonna get the wife, I'm gonna get the money, I'm gonna get the status, I'm gonna get the life that I've always dreamed of, right? But there were some pain points to get to that life that you dreamed of, because sacrifices need to be made, emotional awareness needs to increase, all the things, right? And so this series that I'm doing about April showers is just all about the things that life brings. And if we allow ourselves to feel the sorrow, then we'll also be able to experience the joy when it does come, because there's a season for everything and there's a time for everything, and that's biblical. And so, transparency moment, I'm just going to get into why I think that it's appropriate to talk about April showers. I think it's appropriate to talk about April showers because I'm experiencing that right now. And I'm experiencing that because I'm trying to figure out who I am. And I don't mean that of I don't know who I am. That was a little confusing. I'm trying to figure out what God's going to do in my life. And that's not my job. It's not. So for me, transparency moment, life has just been life. And I believe that I'm a joyful person, that I love joy to show up, because Madeline Joy, that's in my name, you know? I want to be happy. I want to be there for others. I want to show up. However, I feel that sadness is tugging her way in my life right now. I feel like she's tugging her way in my life. And I believe that God's been convicting me through my sadness, but not telling me that my sadness is a problem, but telling me that I need to be more honest and more raw and more vocal with the fact that I do experience sadness. Life isn't always joyful to me. I actually don't even think that before I came to college, I was as happy as I've been now. I felt that I had to go through so many frustrations. I had to grow up a little bit faster than maybe some others. And I think that helps me to value laughter and helps me to value life more because of the fact that I experienced that. So, it's just that I feel like God convicted me with my sadness because I was like, maybe I can be the problem, because I expect people to know what I'm feeling. And the only person that truly knows what I'm feeling is Jesus, and low-key my sister, because she's known me for the 21 years of life that I've been alive, right? So it's like we expect people to know that we're sad, and we expect them to help us and know what to do in the exact thing when we don't even vocalize what's going on. It's like I need to learn to communicate when I'm sad, and I need to learn to trust people in that sadness and know that if they mishandle that, then God's gonna handle them. So April Showers is all about the mundane and not so fun parts of life. And I wanted y'all to have this episode, or I wanted to make this episode because I wanted y'all to know that your seasons don't have to be wasted, and that our hope is anchored in Jesus. And so I just wanted to start this episode off with Lamentations chapter 3 verse 25. And I had that, but then I lost it. I was prepared for y'all, and then I lost it. Jeremiah. Okay. We're getting there. Okay, Lamentations chapter 3 verses 25. No. Yes. Sorry. Lamentations chapter 3 verse 25. It says, "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him." And then I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. So that just goes back to our hope is anchored in Jesus, and that the Lord is with you and he hears you when you anchor yourself in him. And so Lamentations, I want to go on a little deep dive of what Lamentations mean. So Lamentations has the root word of lament, and lament essentially means that you have it means that you have a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. So there's literally a book of the Bible that is centered around grief and sorrow, and we just read a verse from that. And so for me, okay, I'm going to provide an example. So I got the amazing opportunity to study abroad this summer, and I went to the Czech Republic, and it was so amazing, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna see the world. I get to go to Europe and all the things, right? And then I get there, and I go to the grocery store, and there's a language barrier, and somebody got mad at me, and I just left, and I got hives, and I was so sad because I was like, Lord, I asked for this opportunity. It's amazing, but like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know anybody. I don't know. Like, I was just grieving so much, right? And so I valued America more. I valued the fact that I was so comfortable in America because of the fact that I grieved in Europe with knowing that I didn't know everything. I appreciated what I had here more because I had went to another experience, and I was frustrated, and I was sad because I wasn't comfortable anymore. And that's what April Showers does. It takes you through uncomfortable situations so that when you view your comfortable situations that God's allowed you to have, you value them more. Okay, that might have been a crazy or all over the place example, so I'll give a better one. When I came to college, I realized the value of money. I do not pay for all of my bills just yet, and I thank sweet baby Jesus for that, but I had to start paying for my phone bill, right? So my dad, he'll send money every month and everything like that, and he's like, okay, I want you to get used to paying a bill, so you're gonna start paying your phone bill. I value my phone much more with knowing that it doesn't come free. Things don't just come free. And so same with the sorrow season, when we see that the sorrow season produces a crop in us, or produces those mayflowers, as we say, we realize that we need it in order to value something more, or we need it in order to be prepared for what God has for us. So stay with me. So to fast forward, I want to provide 3 P's to help you get through sorrowful seasons, or seasons where you don't see God's hand. 3 P's to help you during sorrowful season is to be prayerful. First, just talk to God. Just ask him, hey, God, what are you doing? What does this even mean? And just communicate with him, have a conversation. The second P is to stay patient. When we're in seasons of April showers, or when we're in seasons of very mundane, frustrating processes, I tend to get impatient and say, God, I don't want to be sad. I don't have time to be sad. That's what I tell God. I don't have time to be sad. And as if God didn't create the whole universe. I'm telling God I don't have time to be sad. Prime example. I went through heartbreak. My first episode's all about my heartbreak and how God used my heartbreak in order for me to be vocal and to have a podcast, right? My heartbreak was a pain point. My heartbreak was April showers. Having this podcast right now is May flowers. I had to go through that heartbreak, and I had to seek God, and I had to understand that he did it for my own good in order to be confident enough to talk to others about my heartbreak. You're following me? I hope y'all are following me right now. So I had to be patient in that heartbreak process, in that sorrowful process, and that process of lament, because it encouraged me to keep going when I got the promise that God had for me. Having a podcast is honestly a dream come true. A dream come true. But it wouldn't have been so fruitful if I didn't go through the heartbreak with God, which was an April shower. And so the last P is to be purposeful. You have to be prayerful, you have to be patient, and you have to be purposeful. And you're like, Maddie, how am I purposeful? How do I be purposeful in my my lament season or my April shower season? And for me, I remain purposeful by realizing that I live this life for a purpose greater than me. I have the goal of becoming a mother one day. I have the goal of becoming a wife one day. I have the goal of becoming a good coworker. Those things give me purpose for the future, right? Things that give me purpose for the now. I'm also a sister right now. I'm a daughter right now. I'm a granddaughter right now. I'm a friend right now. And so there's purpose in the fact that people see me and value me as a person enough to say, hey, Maddie's my friend. Maddie's my sister. Maddie's my daughter. When I know that there's relationships in my life that give me purpose, I lean more into those when life gets tough, because they're a reminder that God's not done with me yet. And they're a reminder that I'm needed on this earth because I woke up another day. Think about the compliments that people give you. Think about the people that call you. Think about the people that text you. Think about the people that follow you if you have socials. Those people value your life because they value you enough to look you up and to follow you on social media. I'm so sorry, y'all. My highlighter got stuck and I'm trying to find it while I'm talking to y'all, and I think it's just gonna be stuck under there. I'm really trying to get the highlighter and it's not. Okay, the highlighter's just stuck. Okay. And so those 3 P's: stay prayerful, patient, and purposeful. Remember why you're on this earth. Remember who you're connected to, and the main connection that you're connected to is the Creator of the universe, which is God. And he's good to those who hope in him, the one who seeks him, what we talked about in the beginning. When I was prepping, I was thinking about adding positivity to the 3 P's, but then I thought about it and I said, no, I'm not adding positivity, because that goes into, I think sometimes we can use positivity as a blanket for our sadness instead of a tool to help us get through it. And so I said, I don't want to blanket sadness with positivity, because sometimes we can't be positive all the time, and sometimes it's okay to be quiet and sad. It's like you can cry and you can grieve, and maybe you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, and that's okay. That is okay that you can't see the light at the tunnel right now. So maybe you just need to sit in it and just say, okay, God, then in that prayer portion, what do you have me on this earth for? What do I contribute? And giving him the space and the time to reveal that to you. Oh my gosh, y'all. I thought I saw a bug. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in God's nature for sure. And I think I'm sweating, and the sweat rolled down me, and I thought it was a bug. It wasn't a bug. The people that are listening are like, what the heck? I'm trying to get into more with God's nature, but the bugs are bugging. So I'm back on my notes for the podcast. Okay, so I was thinking, and I said, okay, Lord, there's April showers. And as I was walking before I recorded the podcast, I said, can you give me a tangible example of April showers? And then the Lord was so gracious. He said, Maddie, there's different kinds of storms. There's thunderstorms, there's hailstorms, there's times when it's just drizzling outside. And so I'm just going to focus on those three that came to mind: the drizzle, the thunderstorm, and the hailstorm. The drizzle is, okay, maybe I wanted to see a friend tomorrow, right? And they called me and they said, Maddie, I can't hang out anymore. That's a drizzle. It's like, dang, that kind of sucked, but I'll be okay. You know, like, I was sad because I was really looking forward to hanging out with that friend because I really had to catch up with them on some things, but my world is not over, right? Then there's a hailstorm. It is some pellets. Those are some pellets where it's like my car could get damaged if I go through a hailstorm, right? And it could be a hailstorm. An example of a hailstorm could be losing a job. You are paying bills and you lost a job and you don't know where your next paycheck can come from. That is a hailstorm. You're like, Lord, I don't even see the light at the end of the tunnel, and things are hitting and bills are coming. I don't even know how I'm gonna pay for this, right? Or it could be the Lord tells you to move somewhere, but he does not tell you why. That could be like, oh Lord, this feels like a hailstorm. I don't know what I'm doing because I'm gonna have to pack up. I'm gonna have to leave. I don't know where I'm gonna work. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it's just like, Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do, right? And then there's thunderstorms. Thunderstorms that I could think of was like grief, of losing somebody close to you. And it could be heartbreak as far as losing somebody like physically, or it could be losing somebody emotionally, sorry. Or it could be losing somebody physically when you grieve somebody and you're like, dang, I actually lost. Yo, I don't know why I feel like there's something crawling on me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. Or it could be like losing a person close to you, mother, daughter, friend. So that could feel like a thunderstorm where it's like, God, I don't know what it's like living life without this person. I can't even see it. And it feels like it's so dark. It's so cloudy. I can't see through the rain. And it's just so frustrating. And it seems that you can't see the hope in it. And so as I understood that there was different thunderstorms, I also got in connection a tangible example of crops and farmers and how they have to plant the seed in the soil, and when it rains, that's when the fruit is produced and that's when the crops are produced. And so I said, okay, God, if there's thunderstorms, there's hailstorms, and there's times when it just drizzles in our life, and those are the April showers, then how do we know that these April showers can bring Mayflowers? How do we know that these April showers are capable of bringing something that is beneficial to our lives? And the Lord took me to reading about what rain does for crops, right? And it says, rain is a vital process for plant growth, allowing them to absorb nutrients throughout the plant. Rainwater is the primary source of water for many crops, especially in a rain-fed agriculture, which accounts for a significant portion of global food production. Rain can help deliver essential nutrients to the soil, promoting healthy plant growth. So it helped me to understand that typically your pain point can be your purpose point. That rain right now, while it feels like there is no hope at all, give it time, be patient, be prayerful, and God will reveal the purpose for that pain point. God will reveal the purpose for that rain, because that rain will provide the essential nutrients for the flower. So this episode, really, I just want to look at the rain portion and what it's like and what it does. And so I was listening to a podcast episode while I was walking before I recorded this, and one of the girls said, there's valleys between mountains. She said, there's valleys between mountains. I'm going to paint, the people that can see me, I'm going to show you what I see when I see there's valleys between mountains. There's a valley down here and there's a mountain. Valley, mountain. Do you see that? Those bottom points, you're going to get to the top point. You got to crawl a little bit. You're going to have to walk a little bit. You're going to have to hike a little bit. You're going to get up here. There's valleys between mountains. Valley, mountain. Valley, mountain. So just know that God has you in that season for a reason. And that it's not easy. And I don't want you to be quiet about it. And I don't want you to think that nobody cares about your emotion. They do. So seeking the right people that are able to sit in that emotion with you. And to be in that emotion with you. And I was going to do more scripture, but then I was like, no. I just want to sit here on the fact that you're not alone in your sadness. I know y'all hear that music. You're like, Maddie, what the heck? Where are you? So I just wanted this episode to encourage you to know that the showers help us to handle tough situations, and later in life to be prepared for the flowers that life will bring. Y'all, I just got a notification that I got a parking ticket.
Perfect timing, right? That is my April shower, a parking ticket. I don't need to be spending more money. That is a drizzle April shower for me. They got me. Anywho, that is, either way, I was all over the place again. But I just wanted y'all to know in this episode that April showers, when we have the right lens, that God can use that to encourage another person, to encourage ourselves, to provide a purpose greater than ourselves. He can use it to provide Mayflowers, which we will talk about next month. But I just wanted y'all to be encouraged to know that we're going to have sad moments in life, and instead of ignoring them, I want you to sit in them and to give it to God, and for him to know that he can provide hope in the midst of a storm. So a little recap of the month. I'll give you a little glimpse of the month. So this month is really about April showers, and so the next episode is going to be about heartbreak, and then the next episode is going to be about imposter syndrome, and then the final episode of April is going to be about how we think that when we fall, how we think that God can't pick us up when he can, because he created us and he knows our heart, he knows our minds, and he knows our souls. As always, I just want y'all to know that you're so loved and you're so valued, and that your pain point can be used for your purpose point, and you're not alone in that process and that grieving. And while it may seem like the world is over, and I know what that feels like, if you give God time to move and you give God time to speak to you, you'll understand that it'll be okay, and that we're living for the kingdom and not for the world. As always, know that you're loved, you're so valued, and love God.